Hi everybody, my name's Dana. Welcome to your movement session today with your OOV. Today we'll be looking at how you position yourself on the OOV when you're laying on it, on your back. And I'll show you a couple of assessment techniques to see if you are in the right position and also to see how your body's feeling that day, whether you're online or whether you might be a bit stressed and therefore a bit more wobbly. And I'll also be giving you two very impactful exercises to start working on. As we go along, I'll share lots of information about this wonderful OOV and how beneficial it is for your body. We all know how important movement is, and this allows you to work movement in a completely different way. It also allows you to tap into your nervous system, which is so important, particularly at the moment when we're in this crazy COVID world where we are constantly unsure of where next week will be. It's very important to look after your nervous system. So we've got movement and impactful nervous system exercises. So really looking forward to showing you. Let's get going. So taking your OOV. Now when you come onto the OOV, you are going to bring yourself right to the end, almost like you're sitting on the floor, but you're actually just hovering off the end of the OOV a tiny bit, okay? If you start sitting right on top of the OOV like this, when we go to lie down, chances are you'll slide completely off it. While we're talking about sliding, it is best to wear cotton clothing and clothing that's reasonably firm so that you don't slide down off your OOV. But you'll discover that the more you go along. So tailbone right towards the end. And then you're going to lie yourself down, holding onto the OOV so it doesn't go off to one side. And you end up facing the ceiling. Okay, now these curves of the spine don't have to be congruent with your curves in your back. Comfort is the most important thing, but we're going to look at another test to see whether you are in a good position. Okay. So in this position here, what I'll get you to do is slowly take one leg up to tabletop and then very slowly bring your second leg off. Okay, and take that back down again. When we do this, what I want you to pay attention to is your neck and your head. If when the second leg comes off the mat, you feel like your neck gets pulled a little bit, then we need to slide you towards your head. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay. So if I take one leg off, everybody look at my neck here. If I take one leg off, then I take the second one. Can you see how my head kind of got pulled up by the weight of my second leg? I can't even talk. I'll show you that again. One leg. Watch this neck and head position here. Can you see how my head got dragged that way a little bit? So now look, if I move up the OOV this way, okay, let me just one leg off, then the other leg. Can you see how still and steady my head was? There was no pulling through the front of my neck. I'll show you one more time. Lifting one leg and the other leg. And that's a really good way to check where you are in OOV, your comfort level, and also what happens with your head. So everybody just go ahead and have a try, find your position, and the more you do this, you really can set yourself up very quickly. You get the feel of it. Okay. So we've got our position on the OOV and we feel very good, very comfortable, okay? Slowly take your arms up to the ceiling and they're going to stay there. With one leg, I want you just to float it to 90-90 or your tabletop position and then pop it back down. Other leg, float it off. Good. And pop it back down. And you'll see that one side will seem to come up super easy, minimal wobbles, you feel really good with that. And the other side might be a little bit of a struggle. All right. So while you're on here, just slowly take one leg up and down and check in with which side, feels a bit hard. So you can see when I lift my right leg, I don't quite have the stability through my left hip at the moment. So I want to park that information in my brain and just remember that. Because as we progress through the series, I might ask you, which leg was it on your leg lift, or forced closure we call it? That was a bit wobbly. Okay, very good. Just park that information. So I'm parking. It was a little bit hard on my left leg to stabilize when I lift my right. Okay, but don't worry. If you are unsure or there's minimal difference, that's fine. We'll still do some good work through the hips. Now, slowly taking one leg off, up to tabletop, then your second leg. And just settle there for me. Then we are going to slowly float both arms off. And here, we are calling this full balance. Or we're assessing what our full balance is like. So you can see I'm wobbling all over the place, I'm tapping down. I might just do a quick readjustment, make sure I haven't slipped off. But I want you to spend about a minute just seeing how you feel here. We're going to use this as another little test to see how our body's feeling on the day, and then also what happens once we've done some exercises and we retest this. Have we made a change? Okay, so don't worry, you don't have to nail that. You can see I was wobbling all over the place. It's really not, there's no right or wrong, it's just an observation. Okay, now, next thing, if you have a small hand weight, this is a 2 kilo, grab that handy. If you don't, I want you to take both arms up and then just slowly take your arms overhead. And slowly bring them back. There's a lot of things going on here, even though it looks like I am just moving through my shoulder joints, which of course we are. But we are also taking our upper breathing muscles out of the picture here. So when we use our arms, we have these accessory breathing muscles around the neck. And when we take our arms overhead, they can't be used. Okay, now I'll explain why that's important later. So we're just warming up through our shoulder joints just a little bit. It is also giving our thoracic spine, our upper back, a bit of a stretch. Lovely. Okay, one more. Now you can continue without any hand weights, or if you've got about a 2 kilo, that would be perfect. Take it and hold on to the ends. Then you are slowly going to take your arms overhead here, and you're going to hold for 30 seconds. Don't actually touch the weight down on the ground. And just hold. And you might get some shaking going on in the arms, which is fantastic. Our brain will pay attention to this long, slow hold. So 30 seconds and then slowly coming back up. Now I've got lots of shakage on my way up. We're doing 2 more of these. Slowly take the arms overhead. Yes, we are mobilizing through our shoulders. But we are also giving our diaphragm, our big breathing muscle, the chance to work properly and start to get into a really nice deep breathing pattern, which is good for the nervous system. We are also starting to warm up our long, deep tummy muscles in front. So that's the thing about the OOV. It's complexity disguised as simplicity. And it's brilliant. All right, last one. 30-second hold. All right. Take note of how your breathing is. Out of curiosity, where is your breathing happening? It should ideally start to feel like it's moving around your ribcage. And then slowly coming back. Lovely. Take that weight down. Float your arms back up to our first test. We've got our arms up to the ceiling and we slowly float one leg up to tabletop. I just want you to notice if this feels any different. And I know that I feel so much steadier now on that left hip. It's amazing. So just see how that feels for you. Is there any change? If there's not, it doesn't matter. It just means your body's already worked that out, okay? Mine needed a little help this morning. Second test, let's just retest how it feels in our full balance. So taking the legs up and slowly floating the arms and see what your full balance is like. It may still be just as wobbly. Give yourself about 45 seconds to a minute. Okay, very nice. Going back to that same exercise. Now, if you have a heavier weight and you think you can manage, this is a 3 kilo. Otherwise, use your 2 again or just your arms. We are going for a 1 minute hold with our arms overhead now. So setting yourself up, slowly taking your arms back into that position. And this time it's a much longer hold, 1 minute. And you might find that I struggle to talk through this. There's a lot of abdominal work going on here. A lot of work through my diaphragm, which is fantastic. My upper breathing muscles in my neck, or those accessory breathing muscles, cannot work because I'm using my arms, and that's a good thing. They're sort of inefficient breathing muscles. We don't get our deep oxygen if we are using those. And we do tend to switch into those upper breathing muscles when we're stressed. So we're getting out of that stress breathing pattern. You can see I'm shaking a lot. This is really good. Don't be afraid of the shakes. Releasing tension through the upper body, through the arms. You might find that it shakes and then goes still. Then you'll shake uncontrollably again. Just take note and observe. That's a brilliant thing on the OOV. All right. Slowly return those arms after a minute. Very nice. Take that down. Let's go back and retest. Hands up to the ceiling. Single hip float. See how it feels. Again, I feel even steadier here. And I could bore you with science, amazing science here, what might be going in my body. But essentially, think of ourselves like a computer. And what we are doing here, we are working our software system, our nervous system as well. So we're upgrading our nervous system, upgrading our software, as well as making sure that our hardware, our joints, our arms and legs are working well too. Yeah, much better. Let's check your full balance. One leg, then the other leg. slowly float. "45 seconds to a minute trying that." Very good. We've got one last exercise. I want you to have an elastic loop band if you can. If not, you can still do it. And just come off your OOV for a second. I've got OOV here. Very nice. Pop it around your knee joints. And then we're going to reposition ourselves back on the OOV. Okay, so remembering just towards the end, and then lay yourself back down. Oh, I'm choking on the microphone here. Here we go. Okay, you can do a quick check. Make sure you're in the right position. Make sure your head's not pulling off, and make sure you feel quite comfortable. All right. Then with your band around your legs, slowly float your legs up. Okay, keeping the right knee pulled towards your chest just a little bit. With the left leg, lower that leg towards the ground as if you're trying to tap that toe, then turn it out. And as you turn it out from the knee, the foot kind of ducks in underneath the right leg. So if you just take a look at that position, one leg is being held towards my chest with the band, or I'm using my muscles against the band. The other leg is open out to the side and the foot tucks in. So your hips are rotating as well as extending. We've got a lot of muscles being worked here around our hips, our pelvis and our tummy. Let's just bring that back to the start again. Stay on the same side. So right knee pulls in towards your chest a little bit. Left leg lowers down towards the floor as if you're going to do a toe tap. Halfway, then open the knee out. And that rotates and tucks the foot underneath your body. And hold for 10 seconds. And then slowly bring it up. We've got one more on this side. Right knee pulls in towards your chest. Left leg, tap it towards the ground. Open the knee, open the hip joint and hold. The band is important if you can grab a band because it provides a little bit more resistance to the muscles, and the brain does pay attention when you're loading the muscles with a resistance like this. All right, very good. Let's swap sides. So this time your left knee comes in towards your chest. Your right toe comes down towards the ground as if you're tapping it. Then turn that right leg out. And hold for 10 seconds. The challenge is not to roll off the OOV and to the side. That's where all the core muscles come in to keep you up here. And then return to the start. We've got two more. Left knee pulls in towards the chest a little bit. Toe tap. And turn that right hip joint out. Hold for about 10 seconds. And then slowly back up. One more. Left knee towards the chest, right toe towards the ground. Turn the knee joint out and the hip joint out and hold for 10. And then bring it back up. Very good. Take your band off. You can do it here. Awesome. Put it away. Last time we're checking our hip float. And just see how it feels. One side to the other. I actually feel a little bit more wobbly after having done that. I felt much more secure after the first exercise. So for me, the first exercise is much more impactful on my body. And so if I was going to repeat another exercise this morning, that's the one I'd probably do for me. Let's check full balance. One leg up and the other leg. I'd really love to hear what you find. So my full balance is coming along, but I probably need a little bit more work. But we're going to leave it there today. You can choose to just turn your palms up here, close your eyes, and just spend a couple extra minutes just relaxing on the OOV. The actual position of the OOV and what it does to your body, it creates space in between your discs in your spine, which is really good for hydrating the discs and providing the disc nutrition and space. So even just by being in this position, you're giving your spine some love, and your nervous system should feel quite relaxed now. Good. All right, well done. That is your first session on the OOV. Love you to just experience it, take note of how it feels for your body, play around with the different exercises I've given you today, and then what it does to your balance tests afterwards, and just take note. I'd love to hear back from you, so certainly shoot me an email, and we'll discover more and more wonderful things about this OOV as we move through the series. Thank you.